What is going on at Colorado, guys? Coach Prime, in his first year, after starting the season 3-0, has really been having a rough couple of weeks the past 5-6 weeks, guys. On a 3-game losing streak right now, that first game being against Stanford, where I think they were winning 26-0 at one point. So it's really been a tough last couple of weeks with a lot of challenges for Coach Prime. We're going to talk about what's going on, and the main couple of things that I think are the reasons why, you're not seeing more success from this Colorado team, right? So the number one reason is, in my opinion, I believe a lot of people's expectations were a little bit skewered in the first place. This Colorado team last year only won one game, okay? So this is a team that is literally in the dumpsters, at the absolute bottom of, college football in every aspect, okay? He had to completely salvage this team, this program, from the absolute depths, okay? The very bottom. So it is very unlikely to assume that a coach, no matter who they are, which Coach Prime is a great coach, to turn a team from one win with no culture, no heritage really, they've been bad for forever, into a team that can win. And a lot of people were saying that they were going to have 7, 8, 9 wins. And whenever you look at this schedule, I just didn't see it. Now, other people said they were only going to win 1 or 2 games, and I didn't see that either. I thought they were going to win, 4 or 5 games. That's where they're at right now. And looking at their schedule, they got Arizona next week. That's been continuously getting better. They got Washington State, and then Utah, they closed the season out with. So, those are no cupcake games here. So more criticism from, the outside could be coming at Colorado if they, finish the season on a 6-game losing streak. That's going to be tough on Coach Prime. And how competitive Coach Prime is, that's really going to kill him. I'm going to be interested to see how he handles that, because it's obvious, like, he wants to win so bad. And the coach can't want it more than the players. And that's going to lead me into my second point, okay? The whole team for Colorado is new and inexperienced, guys. Offensive coordinator who just lost his play calling responsibilities going into this game, Sean Lewis, he was at Kent State, okay? That's a small school. Coach Prime, even he himself, although he coached at Jackson State and had a lot of success there, he's relatively new being a head coach. All these players are new. They do not know, they're getting used to playing with each other, and they don't have any tenure here at Colorado. And a lot of them are also inexperienced. And as a team, they're all inexperienced. They're all new. This is everybody's first year. The coaches, the players, a lot of the people in the offices, on the staff, like, this is an inexperienced group collectively. And whenever you have an inexperienced group, no matter the talent level, you have to learn how to play together. You have to learn how to win games. You have to learn how to control the game, Look at Alabama. Alabama, and even Georgia, they're not as skilled as years past. But as a culture, Nick Saban and Kirby Smart have ingrained it into the system where these teams know how to win. They know how to hold on to the game and control games. So that's what they're doing with less talent. It's the opposite with Colorado. They have a lot of talent offensively, and they got talent on the defensive side of the ball as well. But because they're so inexperienced as a group, they don't necessarily know how to win games and, how to play, a full, 4-quarter game. They have not played a full game from first quarter to fourth quarter since the TCU game. They have been inconsistent really since then, all right? And then the third thing, the third reason why I feel like they haven't reached expectations that many people have set on them is the talent level. Okay, now, Coach Prime has came out and said this at post-game press conferences, which, personally, I don't agree with. I am a big fan of Coach Prime, but that is one of the knocks that I really don't like. He's called out his offensive line play. And, the lack of talent that they have there, which it is facts, and the guys playing O-line for Colorado, they know that too. These aren't stupid guys. They're in the film room, 4 hours a day. So, at least. So, They know what the situation is. With that being said, you can control effort and how hard you play. And, that's been an issue from Coach Prime, from these O-linemen as well. Now, with that being said, it is really deflating when, Coach Prime, the guy you look up to, the reason you're at Colorado, is saying you're honestly, not good enough to play for his team. But that is the matter of the fact. You look at this Colorado O-line compared to other lines in the Pac-12, and they're just smaller. They're not as athletic. They're just not at the level of an elite college program. And whenever you look at the NFL, any team that is good has a great O-line. You're going to be bad if you have a bad O-line. That's how it is. That's how it is. It doesn't matter how good your skill position players are if you can't give them the ball. If your O-line is bad to the point where you can't run the ball, you're automatically one-dimensional as an offense. And if the opposing team's defense knows you're going to pass, those DNs are now coming straight up field. They know it's a pass. They're getting their pass rush on. So it really makes your offense one-dimensional and predictable when you don't have a good O-line. Because you're forced to, you can't run because the O-line can't block. You can't throw the ball deep because you can't protect Shedeur for 3 seconds, And that's a big problem. They can't protect Shedeur for, 2.5 seconds, 3 seconds. And, Shedeur does have a problem with holding the ball on for too long. Now, is that the reason he's getting sacked all the time? No. He's just doing his job, going through his reads as a quarterback, and he's trying to sit in the pocket and make a play. With that being said, you know that your O-line's bad. You got to be able to get out and make a play. With that being said, he's hurt. I don't think much blame falls on Shedeur. Does he hold on to the ball sometimes too long? Yes, but that's like a minute knock, on how great he's playing. I don't want to shy away from how great I think Shedeur has been. Now, with that being said, the last couple of games, they have not had, as much success. Against UCLA, they only scored 16. Against Oregon State, they only scored 19. And a lot of that is Shedeur's hurt. Shedeur's hurt. The last 2 games, Coach Prime said it. He's been taking pain injections. Or, getting injections for pain. He can't do much, man. I can't imagine how tough it is for Coach Prime. You got to wheel your son out there, and he's going to get sacked 4 times at least. At least. They got sacked 4 times against Oregon State. Against UCLA, I know it was at least 5. That UCLA defense is elite. But Shedeur had himself a tough game there. Going forward, guys, towards the end of this season and into next season, what you want to see from this Colorado team is you just really want to see consistent fight. Okay, and that's what we saw in the Oregon State game. They consistently fought back in that 4th quarter, and, they made it a game. They did not lie down. These players have to understand that this is going to be a process. Next year they can be a lot better. They can win 7-8 games next year if they go and get the guys in the portal and in recruitment that they need to get. Now, they'll still be a young team, but they will continue to, be able to add pieces that they are missing now. Going forward against Arizona, Washington State, and Utah, what I want to see from this Colorado team is execution in all 3 phases: offense, defense, and special teams, guys. Special teams, this Colorado team is not where you need to be, and part of that is depth, okay? You're not always going to have, your starting linebacker, your 2 deep linebacker, going on every special teams. So they don't have, the 2nd and 3rd string guys to put on special teams. With that being said, put your starters on special teams. Coaches do that. Coaches do that. And if they are, the execution on special teams has to improve, guys. I mean, if your punter punts it to the 25 and the returner returns it to the 30, 32, that's okay. You can live with that. You can't be a defense starting your defense defending from the 45-yard line, defending from midfield. They got to go half the distance to the goal. They get 2 first downs there in field goal range. it makes it a lot tougher on your defense that's already, you know, not the best. And they have to defend a short field. It makes it tough, man. It makes it tough. So special teams, you have to win on special teams, guys. Defense, we know where they're at. They've been continuously improving. Shedeur Sanders is an absolute monster, guys. A lot of people talk about Shedeur because he's a quarterback, and you know how that goes. Heisman candidate because he's Deion's son. He's getting a lot of praise. Not as many people are talking about his son, who is a monster when it comes to run fits, physical tackling, and forcing fumbles. I mean, it's an old school run fit style of safety. I love to see that. The energy he plays with, it fires up that whole entire defense. As a defense on the outside, of course, they got Travis Hunter. Their secondary is solid. Their linebacker core, they just put a safety at the linebacker position. He's been playing great. White dude. Their other linebacker, he's really good. Number 44 on the D-line, he's a solid player. Is he, you know, does he need to be playing edge as much as he does? No, he's probably more of a pass rushing edge. When they get more guys, that's probably what they'll move him at. Or maybe they drop him the linebacker, you know, because he's kind of in that in-between. He's a real athletic dude. But either way, they got guys individually on that defense. As a unit, they haven't been able to mold together. And one of the biggest reasons for that is obviously because of the weakness in that front seven, that D-line. You know, their D-line, it's small, just like their O-line compared to, you know, elite college team standards. Their fronts or their linebackers, like I just mentioned, they put a safety at linebacker. You know, he's a smaller dude, really good instincts, really athletic player. But, you know, when you got to go and, you know, demolish a block and fill your gap, you know, you're looking, that's going to be tough. You know, I was an undersized linebacker myself. I was shooting under everything. You know, that didn't always work. And then when I did have to take on a block and fight over, that shit sucked. But with that being said, you know, execution on defense, I want to see them continue to improve. Charles Kelly, the defensive coordinator, former defensive coordinator at Alabama, coached at Tennessee as well, Florida State. He's a tenured coach. They have guys on this coaching staff. They are great coaches on this coaching staff. They're going to continue to get better. And going into the offseason, they're going to get the pieces that they need to get. And, you know, they're going to look to roll into the season next year and really cause some damage. But, you know, with that being said, wrapping up this season, you want to continue to see them get better at all three phases. You know, offense, special teams, and defense. But that's going to wrap it up for this video, guys. Last thing, you know, expectations, they were a little bit high. That's the first reason. The second reason, new and inexperienced group. You know, you got new guys coaching, you know, new players playing, new team, new city, all those things. And then, you know, third, and I think least important out of all those things is the talent discrepancy. You know, I think effort really trumps that, and also, you know, being able to play as a unit and as a team is more important than how talented you are as an individual. But those three reasons right there are, I think, why Colorado isn't executing at the level many people probably thought that they should. They're a great team, and I love Coach Prime, but whenever you're, you know, first-year coach in the Pac-12, which proved to be a very, very difficult conference, you're going to have road bumps, man. And what defines you is how you know, hit those road bumps and keep moving, and what you learn from them as far as lessons go. And Coach Prime knows this, but it's about what the team knows. You know, this is a lesson in maturity for this team. You know, through all the bumps and grooves, this Colorado team is going to mature and hopefully take all the lessons from last year, reload in the portal and in recruitment, and then go into next year and have a really, really good season. But that's going to wrap it up for this video, guys. If you're here, comment, let me know what you think. I really appreciate all the engagement. You know, I love talking to you guys in the comment section. Subscribe, like the videos, and also comment some video ideas. Anything you want, any questions you want me to cover, I will make a video on them. So just let me know, and I appreciate everything. We'll see you in the next one.